Hey everybody, welcome back to MoonTown Offline.
Yep, we're off online.
Yes, welcome back everybody. This is number 17 and
There's a number past 16.
apparently some researchers, archaeologists mainly, it's a Sumerian number. I think they refer to it as 17,
That's
but
crazy,
I
dog.
could be wrong.
Hey, if we get bigger than this, that's crazy.
Dude, what if you were the smartest? This is just a weird hypothetical. What if you were the smartest guy in the world, but you had no idea what the number 17 was?
You just it never
You know
happened in your
everything
mind.
else. You know every answer to every scientific question. You just have no idea what the number 17 is.
They're like, hey, what's 16 plus 1? And you're like, I did.
Like, oh, it's 18.
No, that's 9 times 2. That's impossible.
Oh, yeah, guys, 9 times 2 is 18. What are you talking about? But, like,
Well,
17 is such a weird number that, like, it'll never be thrown in conversation ever.
he just doesn't learn 17.
It's just like some of his executives are over here, and his kid comes in trying to work on his homework. And he's like, oh, don't worry, Jacob, it's real simple. See, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. All right, off you go. Execs are like, uh, you forgot 17. Sorry, what? You forgot to tell him 17. Heck, no, I was just telling him the numbers. Why would I? What's a 17? Everyone's got to be like, what?
This guy.
Like, all right, you proved the Big Bang.
You proved the Big Bang.
Yeah,
Not only did you prove the Big Bang, you proved the presence of God.
you've accurately predicted every winning in sports history from now until 15 years in the future. So far, it's going well. Are you here telling me that you know everything except the number 17? I don't know why that's so funny.
It reminds me of that one episode of iCarly where she just made up that number.
Sorry, man. Drake and Josh here. I can't.
Did you never watch iCarly?
I just never got into it because,
But
well, you see,
but
Mike brain was like, "Oh, that's Megan from Drake and Josh. Why would I watch her when there's no Drake and Josh like that?" You know this.
that's it. Now we need an episode where we've watched the entirety of at a season of iCarly
Bro,
and we talk about it.
I'm 7 years old. I
Huh?
just I cared about my men.
I
All right,
women are cool.
I might sound a little misogynistic, but let me explain. All right, 6 or 7 year old me. All right,
Mansplain it to me.
dude, there's no easy way out of this. Gotta find a subtle transition somewhere. Uh,
Speaking of men, some of them are super. Hey, today's topic.
yeah. See, uh, Drake has a D and an E in it for Drake Bell. Josh Peck has a E, and uh, there's you take the K from Drake, and you fast forward a few letters, and it becomes a U. Yeah, DCEU, everybody. Those of
Uh,
you,
that's what you got to. Okay.
yeah, subtle transition. It's just it's all up in here, man.
Is that what we're calling it?
DCEU, everybody. Uh, for those of you who are not familiar, this would be the DC Extended Universe, a series of movies that started with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel in 2013, and then since then has no easy way to say this, jumbled around the last half decade or so, and a lot of seemingly canceled projects, a lot of future projects delayed, a lot of projects that were just in response to Marvel projects. There's no other easy way of saying that. But yeah, looks like we're here to sort of a freeform jazz kind of thing. We're gonna talk about it. We're just kind of go through the movie list, and just from what we can remember from all of them, talk to you about our thoughts and whatnot, because that's exactly what you wanted to hear. Our thoughts on the DCEU that have probably been said by 1,000 other people. But this time, it's with the cup. And it is 11:30 a.m. On August 8th, a Saturday in the year 2020. So tell me any reviewer or Angry Joe wannabe that has that time and the cup. I thought not.
I like Angry Joe.
Yeah, he's all right. One of those channel hopping dudes.
I actually watched his Man of Steel review.
All
And
right.
since he's such a big Superman fan, I felt appreciative that movie gave him like a good experience. And that because there's a kid that left the theater that was like, "Oh, Superman's so cool," and Angry Joe was like, "Yeah, Superman is cool, isn't he?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Superman is cool." So then I watched. I guess this is our segue. I watched Man of Steel. I didn't watch Man of Steel in theaters. I watched outside of theaters twice. The first time I watched it, I have to say it by the way. The first set of theaters, or first time I watched the movie, I was like, "Oh, hey, it's got some good action sequences," and all in all, I think it's all right. I think it's pretty good. Then I watched it the second time, and my opinion of it drastically lowered. Um, I don't remember exactly why. It may have also been influenced by how it should have ended. If you remember that YouTube channel,
Yeah, I
she.
still watch it religiously.
Yeah, I don't think there's someone there's a YouTube people that I like called Comic Pop. And then Sal from that has said he thought the Man of Steel was an accurate representation of the Superman that was in the comics at the time. So this would be at the time of New 52, where they tried to make Superman, well, New 52 in general, I guess, tried to make everything a bit more edgy in some senses.
Yeah.
And it's not the Superman that people wanted. So Man of Steel was more catered to that Superman at the time. And so he says that's why a lot of people have a problem with Superman. And that film is that it's just a bit edgier than the Superman that we ended up getting that nice moment of in Justice League. Where he's like people contrast how Superman is portrayed from Man of Steel to that moment. Now, I don't know if that's as accurate as I used to think anymore, because I haven't seen Man of Steel in a long time. But I remember, besides that point, I saw the movie the first time, thought it was all right. Saw the second time, and I thought it was not as all right. So that's my journey with Man of Steel.
Yeah, I mean, first off, Henry Cavill, like, that's a good choice.
Oh yeah, perfect casting. I love that.
You couldn't have gotten any better. Like, you could have done Brandon Routh, but he already did it, and he was already gonna do it in other smaller projects. Like Chris Reeve, I don't really think anyone can top Chris Reeve as Superman, unless it's the guy from the Justice League cartoons. I don't think anybody else really. But Henry Cavill is like, he's real cool, and there's a lot of the movie that, thinking about it now, it's like the first half of the movie is kind of like it's structured like the 1990 It. with Tim Curry. In that, it rapidly switches from past to present whenever it feels like it. Like, oh, hey, he's looking at a bus. All right, we're in the past right now, and he's saving a bus. Okay, let's get right back to him working at a bar. Cool. And then let's just scooch on over back and talk about how his dad wanted him to maybe kill kids. Maybe that the point of that was just like he didn't know because this is an alien he's talking to, and it's kind of scary. But it still kind of comes off weird. It's like, oh, a tornado, son, don't save me. What are you talking about? Like, bye. Like, Pa Kent, like dying of a heart attack. That's, I think, that's more narratively cool because that's something that he can't stop. Like, guy in the tornado, like that's first level stuff. That's level 1 Superman. Go get him out of the tornado. Super easy. But like a heart attack, there's not much that he can do. So that, what am I trying to say? I don't know. But let's see, Amy Adams was also in it. She did a pretty all right Lois Lane from the best that I can remember. I also have not seen it in some time. But Russell Crowe's there doing his Russell Crowe thing.
I probably haven't seen it since like 2014.
Yeah, it's been like, I don't know, 2017, maybe 2018. I can't remember. Yeah, Russell Crowe was like, hey, Superman is all of Krypton because I guess we put all of the baby DNA in him, which is okay. Now that I'm thinking about that more. And his mom's like, oh, great, that he can see holograms of both of us. And Russell Crowe's like, too late, already sent him off to space with me. My bad. It's a very colorless Krypton from what I can remember.
Yeah, the movie itself wasn't very bright and hopeful like how Superman should be.
Yeah, I think that might be the problem. People, like, it's the Superman people wanted, not the Superman they needed. Because people always need Superman to be like, hey, man, you're cool. And, like, don't worry. I'm here to help. And you can help, too, because you're awesome. Like, wow, thanks, Superman. Michael Shannon was in it as General Zod. Real bug-eyed, I will find him. Yes. I got a few laughs in, I got to say. And what else did Zod even do?
I don't know.
Very, very blurry on like the impact of Man of Steel. It was really just the start. Like, it's not like how Iron Man started up the MCU, but it's Man of Steel.
It was a start.
Yeah, it was simply a start.
Yeah, 5 years after Iron Man, DC finally starts theirs, which is like, that's a good amount of time to wait.
Yeah, which is like, all right, do this, and then just like keep it going like structurally until we eventually get to a team up. But DC said,
oh, and they fucked up.
Yeah, it kind of did. We're going to talk about that after this commercial break. So we will see you guys in just a moment when we talk about the rest.
Bond's double the difference offer is your guarantee of Bond's low prices.
Well, that I'd like to see.
Buy 25 different items worth $20 or more, then check those same items at any other store.
If you find their total is less,
retouch the prices you found.
We offer you double the difference in cash.
it's the best offer around. It's low prices.
we're back. Just finished up with talking about Man of Steel. So, instead of the logical move, they went with, well, Marvel's about to do Civil War, gotta rush that project. And that same year, Guardians of the Galaxy made a bunch of money, gotta rush that project. So only one Superman movie. 3 years later, we get to March 25th, 2016. And we get Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Now, Austin, a Batman versus Superman movie sounds pretty awesome. With like Wonder Woman in there, sounds pretty awesome. If you have a Batman and a Wonder Woman story already in there, and maybe a Man of Steel too, because people wanted that instead of this. But no, they rushed it a bit. It's like, all right, like this is technically Man of Steel 2, even though Superman isn't the first name on the list. It's Batman v Superman. So Superman almost sounds like an afterthought. But Batman is here, played by the thick Ben Affleck. And then he's thick. Man, he just, you know what I mean? And he plays more of a Dark Knight Returns, because they're still trying to go for that edgy darkness. It does feel weird that Batman's been around for so long and nobody's really questioned it. We don't really even know what happened. We know A. Robin died. Could be Jason, could be Dick. We just know that A. Robin died and he stopped being Batman for, what was it, like 10 years? Or was he still doing Batman after that? Yeah, I don't know, but
I'm less concerned about it. I actually don't care that we didn't get a Batman movie because I don't think we needed one. It was kind of like Spider-Man It was kind of like Spider-Man in the MCU. We didn't get a Spider-Man origin film because we don't need one. We know exactly how Spider-Man started. And in Batman and in BVS, we get the Batman origin kind of a little bit. You know, we get the whole Pearl sequence and stuff. So it's like,
yeah.
Okay, like we know who Batman is. So I'm fine that we didn't necessarily get a Batman movie and even a Wonder Woman movie. Like in hindsight, I would have preferred this be Man of Steel 3. And then like you could have maybe had like if Wonder Woman came out before that would have been cool too. But that this happened, they could have still worked with this and not gone straight into Justice League. Because so first let's just talk about the movie,
right?
Which is a mixed bag because there's a lot of concepts and stuff that BVS and it's really cool and it sets up a lot of cool stuff and it's like you have so many cool concepts and then you have the bad side which is like the writing is like good here but not there.
Yeah,
they ruined Doomsday, and
well, we'll get to Doomsday after we talk about the rest of like the cast and whatnot. It's kind of weird that we have a clear picture as to why Batman hates Superman. We don't really know why Superman hates Batman.
Well, it's because he's branding people, and then when they get sent to prison, they're killed.
I mean, all right, cool. I don't know. They had Jimmy Olsen at the beginning who got shot.
Yeah, dude. Damn.
And,
bye, Jimmy.
Yeah. And, somewhere along the line came one Mr. Jesse Eisenberg, who is the clear choice for Lex Luthor. I mean, what do you think?
I thought I was okay for a different Lex Luthor. In my mind, you're never going to beat Justice League Animated Series Lex Luthor.
No way.
never, not even going to top that.
Never
So
gonna.
I think he's great. But Jesse Eisenberg Luther, I thought, wow, I don't think he sounded like Luther. I think he had the right. He had the right objective. And I don't know if we're ever going to see him again, but I think he would be okay. I'm fine with it. Like, I can deal with the fact that BVS happened, in a lot of ways. Yeah, so I'm fine with that. How do you feel about Ben Affleck? Because personally, I loved him. I loved his acting, and I thought he was like a perfect cast. Yeah, did Zack Snyder have to write in the fact that he maybe accidentally killed people, and maybe did that stuff and was a little too brutal? Yeah, he could have been less so, but like the way he acted as Batman was great. And then we got the Justice League, and they tried to like fix him, and it made it worse. Gal Gadot, perfect.
I don't really have one way or the other with Ben Affleck's Batman. It's just kind of a weird middle ground where there's not much of an opinion. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone can have an opinion on, like, Christian Bale. You know, people can say that he wasn't that cool. And they could blame most of that on the voice. And, like, cool, that's, like, your opinion. And people could say, like, well, Diedrich Bader and Batman the Brave and the Bold was awesome because he was just, like, super campy. Like, awesome. That's what you think. But for me, like, for Ben Affleck, there's not much to say. He's certainly Batman, and he does Batman things. The killing is off-putting, but he certainly is Batman. You know what I mean? It's just not much to talk about with Ben Affleck's Batman. And I don't know if that's a problem or not. I had Jesse Eisenberg's Batman, or nope, that would be insane. Hello there, my name is Batman, and I am here to destroy you. I am the Knight. But his Lex Luthor, not a great public speaker, which I think is that's something Lex has to have in spades, no matter what interpretation you're trying to throw at him. But he's just like, hey, I'll do some small thing if you, a senator who just gives me access to Zod's ship and also his corpse. Like, yeah, sure, man. You stuck a Jolly Rancher in my mouth. That sold me. And Gal Gadot was in it. Great casting. Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. You know, give that Israeli woman some more stuff to do. You know what I mean? And in the movie, she got in a car. She left a plane. She opened up a folder. And she hit a dude.
Yeah, I'm fine that she wasn't big in it, right? Because it's Batman versus Superman.
I mean, yeah. But there's also the subtext Dawn of Justice. So it almost hints to it being like a Trinity movie.
I think she was there to set up the Justice League, which I think she did. Do you want to talk about that Injustice sequence?
Which one was that?
Flash.
Yeah. So,
well, that's not going to pay off anymore.
Yeah, what started that whole part of the movie? I think it was Bruce had a dream where he went to his parents' crypt and there's zombies start coming out eating him. And then it transitioned to him in a desert attire. But
No. What happened was he was looking at the footage of the heroes, and then he had the dream sequence.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There was the big Omega symbol in the dirt, and Batman had like a strike team. Superman had a strike team. I don't know why he'd need it.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman comes over to Bruce and I don't know, starts like tickling him and stuff. And wakes up like, oh, that was a dumb dream. And then Flash comes in with full on like half like milk mustache and weird robotic armor. It's like, Lois Lane is the key. Fear him. You were right. Fear him. Like, you couldn't make it any more like clear as to who you're talking about. Because if you know you're going back to this specific time, maybe Batman told you that he was kind of going through some stuff with Superman. So, like, be clear as to who you're talking about. Yeah, and then they were like, oh, hey, let's show, like, this cool Flash scene where he's in a mini-mart. Then let's show a few cool Cyborg scenes about him becoming Cyborg. And let's just show Aquaman, like, looking at a camera. He just kind of stares at the camera for, like, maybe a full 5 hours and then just darts away.
That's where most of the runtime of the film comes from.
Apparently so, yeah.
It's us admiring Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and then and the big Doom Boy came out. And, well, Doomsday is a strong word to call him. Now, say what you want about the Nostalgia Critic. Is he a bad guy? Yeah. But I remember watching his review on Batman v Superman way back when. He made a good point that Doomsday is Lex Luthor, like, forming his DNA with that of a Kryptonian, which apparently is the exact same thing he did in the infamous Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, and he was making Nuclear Man. Am I coming in all right? You're kind of dazing off there.
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, Blockbuster Doomsday comes in, and he and then, like, Superman dies. This is his second movie. We don't really know anything about him. Like, there's no Justice League to carry him to his burial site. There's no, like, hordes of people missing him. Well, it kind of is. But it more comes off confusing as, like, oh, Superman is real bad, and he is a menace, and we all don't like him on the news. And as soon as he dies, it's like, oh, we really like him. He's pretty cool. Person, stop mugging me, because Superman is gone. Like, you know what would really helped out? If Superman just, like, went on an interview. Just let him go on CNN. He can. He's certainly done, like, TV interviews before in the comics. And also, an interview he did on TV is exactly how the death of Superman's story started in the comics. So that would also be a nice little tie-in. You're like, hey, guys, it's me, Superman. I'm here on ABC in the morning. Good Morning America. I'm just here to just, like, talk about my spiel. Like, that would have been nice. But no, we get, like, 2 movies. And then he's just kind of... And, like, we know he's going to come back. There was no surprise. Like, yeah, we know he's going to come back. But, like, it could have waited until we got a little more of a connection. Maybe they just thought that everyone would keep rewatching Man of Steel over 3 years, so that they would think they build up a connection. But all right, so, like, rocky start to the DCEU. Like, fine. We have these 2 movies. All right, let's start going on to our actual stuff. Before 2016 could end, David Ayer came out and said,
I forgot. I thought we were going to Wonder Woman next.
Yeah. Nope. You got to remember.
This is what I have to say about Suicide Squad. Are you ready? Act 1 and 2, okay. Act 3, horrible. Will Smith and Margot Robbie, all right. I think that's good. Jared Leto didn't need to be there. The Joker, I'm all right with him, but why was he introduced in a Suicide Squad film? Why was a Suicide Squad film even here if we don't know any of these villains? Suicide Squad should have happened like a year or two after Justice League, where all these villains have been caught from the movies of the characters they should have been in. One real thing back to Dawn of Justice, if I was running the DCEU, the ending would be different. You could still introduce the things. You could still have that weird injustice. I call it injustice because the Superman's like really regime-y.
Yeah.
You can still have your weird injustice vision, and you can still have those stock footage of the Justice League. But you take out Doomsday and you take out Superman dying, right? Then you have a lot more room to do things. And then you could build up. You can have a film of each of the heroes, Flash, Aquaman. And if you wanted to be like Justice League, the comic by Scott Snyder, he is writing that now, by Jeff Johns and New 52. I don't care if Cyborg's first real main appearance is in Justice League. That could be fine. If you don't want to give him his own movie, like, okay, you can introduce him in Justice League, kind of like how they do with the comic, that stock footage, because, those films could take place before BVS. And then you can have, okay, so we're giving ourselves a little hint to these other heroes. We're just, we're going to be more on the nose about this whole connected universe thing because Marvel's already done it. Suicide Squad shouldn't have happened. It was bad. And let's not spend too much time on it because I don't want to give it that much time.
Yeah. Suicide Squad, I've only got 4 little sentences that explain Suicide Squad perfectly. Sentence 1, this is Katana. Sentence 2, she's with me. Sentence 3, I'd advise not getting killed by her. Sentence 4, her sword traps the souls of its victims. That's all I have to say about that.
One thing I will say that good that did come out of it, Bohemian Rhapsody by Panic at the Disco.
That is true. That was dope.
Listen, if that's the only thing that needed to come out of this movie, so be it.
Yeah. So DCEU is looking at themselves like, this is like, we're making a lot of money, but this is a really bad critical start because what we have here is already rotten. People don't like this. So, okay, instead of doing exactly what Marvel is doing, we're going to do something that they haven't done yet. A female-led superhero movie.
Ha ha! Take that, Marvel.
But we're not going to talk about that. Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman came out on June 2nd, 2017, starring the lovely Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman and Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. And they're in World War I. That's about it. That's about the gist of Wonder Woman. Like, it's a good movie. I remember really liking it. I like
Ares is the villain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they had Lupin as Ares for whatever reason. But, yeah, Ares was there for a bit. It was cool. Some great action sequences. Some good character stuff. And Wonder Woman, just sweetest little woman alive.
I thought it was like the best rendition of a superhero in the DCEU that we've gotten up to that point. And it's probably still one of my favorite solo superhero films, even considering the MCU.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's really good. When she goes into no man's land, that's what a superhero is. That is so good.
That is beautiful right there. Yeah, it's a real nice movie. And DC was like, all right, we're getting something here. We're getting something. So now we can do Justice League. And this,
by the way, just so you know, this is where DCEU currently, this is where it's peaked for me.
Mhm.
Everything else is technically downhill.
I don't know. There's one in here that is very uphill for me.
Listen, it's right. Everyone knows the movies that came out. We're probably only going to have time to talk about the movies that have come out now because we're taking a bit. But spoiler alert, the second to last movie in the released films, I think is good. And that's where it starts to go back up for me.
So let's just get right into Justice League, directed by directed by Joss Whedon, and that came out November 17th, 2017, starring Batman and Wonder Woman. Like, oh no, Steppenwolf. Like,
Oh, you mean featuring shots of Wonder Woman's ass?
there was a bounty of Wonder Woman butt shots. Which director did that?
Whedon.
Probably. Hey, we blame the guy? Come on. Look at Gal Gadot. She's beautiful. She was in the military.
Unnecessary. It was so unnecessary.
Anyways, those two are like, oh no, Steppenwolf's coming out. And everyone's like, what's a Steppenwolf? And then
Everyone but me.
yeah, I knew it. Don't worry about me.
I read Earth too. I knew what was up.
I'd seen stuff. I knew about him. Like, what the heck is that? Like, oh, that's a Darkseid guy.
I will give Justice League this one thing. I think overall Justice League is okay. I like the Superman moments. That shot where Flash is running, and then Superman's just like,
yeah,
that's really dope. And I like the relationship Batman and Superman start to have in the movie, where it's like, I don't hate you. What? I never said I hate. Like, they're like, oh, okay. Like, and I love the relationship between Bruce and Diana. I thought they were trying to go for a little Justice League animated universe right there, but I guess they fired Ben Affleck, so screw everything. I do think Steppenwolf, while in execution, I thought he was okay.
he looks.
He could have been a lot better. Concept-wise, having, again, Jeff Johns, right? Volume 1, Darkseid is the villain. People criticize that. And you know what? A good reconcile is just Steppenwolf. Because he's powerful. He sets up Apocalypse. And my index finger looks really small. And it's just I think it's a good, reconciliation for it. Like, if you're not going to do the White Martian storyline, oh, that's okay. You're going to do someone from Apocalypse. That's fair. That's how the Justice League should start. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. And they're like, all right, let's get this guy Aquaman, infamously, I suppose, played by Jason Momoa, Khal Drago himself. And you got these other two weird kids, Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher, who play the Flash and Cyborg, respectively.
How do you feel about them?
Ezra Miller was probably just like, he was a good part of the movie, but I think maybe at that point we were kind of grasping at straws. Like, this kid's quippy. Let's keep him.
Yeah, I think he's a good, he's a new Barry Allen. Which I'm fine with new interpretations of the characters for the film universe. Like I said, I think Superman still should have been more Superman. Batman should have been less murdery. Wonder Woman, she's great. She's fine. Aquaman, even, he's fine. Cyborg, I think he's fine too. We don't have much of him to really judge on, so there's not much we can do. But Ezra Miller, I remember the trailer where he's like with the batarangs. I thought that was a fun moment, and I was like, you know what? This is a different Barry Allen. I'm okay with that, right? And if the writing is better, then I think Ezra Miller will do just fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Justice League was all right. There is something you can look up on YouTube though, from a channel called Nando V Movies, and it is a Justice League rewrite, where instead of Steppenwolf, well, for one, in in the Nando v Movies Justice League rewrite, there's no Superman. It's basically like what Superman's missingness means for the world. And it's got like Legion of Doom stuff in it. And then the smaller Justice League come together. And I really like it. I think it would have been a much better choice.
There's Legion of Doom stuff?
Yeah. It's like, oh, should also point out, I mean, probably the highlight of the Justice League movie is the after credits scene, skipping the bald guy one, where he's like laughing and it's like, oh no, Luthor's escaped. The best part is simply Deathstroke coming out on a speedboat and doing that.
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor is on a speedboat, and Joe Mangalo looks amazing, and that costume looks amazing. It's like, shouldn't we have a league of our own? That was probably the best part of the movie.
It was so good.
Simply because Deathstroke looked amazing.
I'm so ready for Deathstroke to be on screen.
Eventually. But also, I suppose, subtitle of Justice League would be the Snyder Cut, the infamous cut of Justice League that only Zack Snyder would be a part of, and is like, what, 5 hours long? And is coming out. It's coming out next year on HBO Max. So
hey, I'm excited. I thought the Snyder cut of BVS was better because it helps expand Clark Kent's character, and you actually get to see him be Clark Kent. Did it help the movie? I think it gave the movie like a nice padding up, but it's still BVS. Which, by the way, I think the ranking as far as goes, we have Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and now Justice League. Justice League is above BVS.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the rest of the films probably all go above Justice League. Maybe. I haven't seen Birds of Prey. But yeah, excited for the Snyder Cut. Even if it's bad, I just want to see Darkseid.
Yeah, even if it's bad, people are gonna watch it because they've been kind of blinded by like, oh, they didn't do this, so it certainly must be better than the one that we got. They'll eat it up, no matter what it is. But we'll quickly go over the rest of the DCEU after this commercial break. So stay tuned, because we'll be back very soon.
They were a strike force of different, daring, dangerous men who had to work together or die. No! Robert Shaw.
We're not commanders. We're deserters.
Harrison Ford.
There's no bridge in the world that can't be blown.
Barbara Bach. Edward Fox. Franco Nero. Carl Weathers. Richard Jaws Keel from Alistair MacLean's monumental bestseller, Force 10 from Navarone. Rated PG.
Now playing UA Cinema Center, Westwood, Holly Theater, Hollywood, and selected theaters.
Hello again. It's time for more.
Whoa. I was facing the other way. What happened?
Dude, that's so crazy. So just wrap things up. Man of Steel come out. After these 5 movies come out, 4 of them receiving Rotten. They
Thanks.
realized,
Go Wonder Woman.
yeah, they realized, okay, let's just not do team-ups for a very long time, because we need to like
Now they get it.
we need to focus on single characters throughout their journeys. So hey, let's see how Aquaman does. Wow, that's a real big $1 billion. Aquaman comes out directed by James Wan, a horror director, oddly enough. But I know Marvel has had a few directors come in that are like, oh, I'm from horror. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, Aquaman came out. Jason Momoa returns with Amber Heard. as Mara. Is something.
Amber Heard, who may or may not have shit on her husband's bed.
100%. My money's on Rango. He's who I believe. But yeah, Aquaman comes in and it's like, oh no, Patrick Wilson is his half brother Orm. A bit of a goofy name. Now that I say it out loud right now, Orm.
Reading it, you never thought it was goofy, but saying it out loud.
Prince Orm.
Have you read Aquaman, any of the New 52 Aquaman stuff?
I think a while ago.
I've read all the way up to Throne of Atlantis. So Volume 1 is The Trench, Volume 2 is The Others, Volume 3 is, along with Justice League, the Throne of Atlantis volume. Good stuff.
Nice. And we got that. Ocean Master himself is like, he's a good Ocean Master, like no matter how you slice it. Like it's a very simple character to get right. And I think they were kind of playing it safe with that one. And also,
a lot of people describe this film as like James Wan was trying to make like a Saturday morning action cartoon, kind of in movie form. And like judging the film based off of that's what it's trying to be. I think it is like a very good job of that kind of like energy and slight campiness, and also like because he's a horror director, that sequence when before the Trident, it's like actually pretty tense, and it's like where the trench monsters come in, like the ones I just talked about.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, the trench was certainly interesting, and probably going to be explored more. And then we had my man, insert his name here, who is Black Manta. He comes out looking pretty awesome, and they were a pretty sweet fight. I'll give them that. They had a pretty sweet fight, and a lot of effects are pretty sweet, especially those underwater. Willem Dafoe is also in it, the great man himself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, I only saw this movie once in theaters. Oh, by the way, I've seen after Man of Steel. Man of Steel is the only one I didn't see in theaters except the newest one.
Oh yeah, Aquaman, like it's certainly fun. You know, it's got a lot of fun stuff going on. It doesn't go too deep. No pun intended. But yeah, Aquaman, it certainly made a lot of money. They're like, all right, this is going
for me. I'd go now it's Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League, BVS, Man of Steel, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but now we get to April 5th, 2019, 2 days after my 19th birthday. And we come out with, I mean, in my opinion, the best DCEU movie.
In my opinion, the second best DCEU movie.
Yeah. We come out with Shazam, directed by David F. Sandberg. We got the classic story of Billy Batson jumping on a train and hearing from Digimon that was also an Aquaman earlier, so that was a little weird. And he's like, I'm Shazam, and you got to say my name and be awesome. And it's like, all right. And he says it and becomes Zachary Levi. And this movie's tone is so spot on to the kind of person that Captain Marvel is. It's just a real fun thing about a kid in an adult's body. Not just any adult's body, but a superhero adult's body.
Boom, charge your phone.
Exactly. And he's going around with his friend Freddie Freeman, and who's
to bring back, you mentioned earlier how Man of Steel is similar to the cinematic view of It. Well, now we have a character or an actor that was in the new It.
Exactly.
It all comes around.
Full circle, man. Full circle. They take New 52 and rebirth ideas with Freddie Freeman being part of a foster family with Billy Batson and these 4 other kids and these 2 real sweet parents. And Billy Batson, he's not like he's not.
Oh yeah, and Billy Batson's less of an asshole than in the comics.
Yeah, that was always kind of interesting because Billy Batson's always supposed to be like depicted
Superman.
this pure-hearted little kid who's just like, wow, Superman, he's so cool, holy moly. And he goes off on 50s adventures fighting lizard men in suits and giant robots.
Yeah, he's like, holy moly, being a superhero sure is fun. I need to be a good person. People are like, hey, this guy's pretty good. Let's buy him more than Superman's comics. And then DC's like, let's just buy him out. Let's just do it.
Get him for right now. All right, Superman's back on top. All right, no problem. But Shazam, real good. Zachary Levi, I mean, has there ever been a bad Zachary Levi? I don't think there has.
I don't know, but I remember, like, no one, like, DC didn't talk about Shazam for a long time since they announced it was in production. And I remember seeing a post that from Zachary Levi is like, hey, guys, the movie's coming out still. You should talk about it because I think it's good. And I was like, this was like 2017, and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
I like you, Zach. I don't know you very much, but you seem fun.
Yeah, Flynn Rider, he's cool. Don't worry about him. But he comes in, he's just like the life of the party. Every single scene that guy is in. It's just like, remember that when the scene when the bus is just like teetering off of the bridge? And it's just, and Zachary Levi's just like freaking out. He pulls out just like an old mattress. Like, all right, jump on here.
Trivia, me and my friend forgot we had biology homework. So before we walked into the theater, we did our biology homework online on our phones and then walked into the movie theater.
Smart. Mark Strong comes in as the bad guy. Mark Strong, he's super cool. He's Dr. Zavanna, and he brings a more adult thing to at least what I'm used to Dr. Zavanna being. He's just a very short, scrawny little scientist guy who's like, no, I'll get you, you big red cheese. It's an actual nickname that he gave Shazam once. And
really?
Yeah, the big red cheese. Back in the 50s comics.
I'm just excited eventually for Zach Levi to punch the Rock.
I know, man. And then
they cast Black Adam before they even cast Shazam.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm waiting for the day that we actually get to see this happen.
Yeah, on that, I don't really see Black Adam being an anti-hero. I've never seen him like that. Because he's like the anti-Captain Marvel. He's like everything that the Seven Deadly Sins represent, basically. Like
hey, if they change him up, if it makes sense in the movie, then I'll be fine with it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It's just it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be tricky to pull off.
But maybe, it's The Rock. It has to be good.
Yeah, maybe throwing in The Rock and shoving in some JSA members, maybe that'll help. But who knows, really. But Shazam, really great. And the after credits scene, Mr. Mind, that is amazing. That they told an entire audience, yes, the sequel's villain is a caterpillar. And I absolutely love that.
Yeah, Shazam is almost like the Guardians of the DCEU, because Guardians is campy, but it's also like heavy emotional moment incoming. Whereas Shazam is like, it's campy, but then, he goes to meet his mom and it's like heavy emotional moment. That was one of the best scenes, I think, in any superhero like film. It's so real and it was so sad.
Oh, come on, man. But he's got the Shazam family now, and they look awesome.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
I was like, Shazam 2, maybe that'll happen. At least one of them. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah. Like, say my name. Billy.
Yeah, I can see why this is your favorite.
I really enjoy it. Because, like, looking back, Man of Steel, that's at least not my Superman.
Mhm.
You know, Wonder Woman. Yeah, like, that could be my Wonder Woman, sure. And Shazam is like, bam, hit the nail on the head. I don't know, but and since then, we've had another one that came out February 7th, 2020, directed by Kathy Yan. Birds of Prey. Let me see, and the Anabinus Bastardate Constipation of one Harley Quinn.
The Emancipation.
Yeah, no one says that last part. Birds of Prey.
Not even Wikipedia.
Yeah. I've seen it. You said you didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I didn't like the trailer.
Yeah. So I watched it for science. That's what I say every time I watch a bad movie. I watch it for science, so that I can let people know my calculations and my analysis. So Harley Quinn, played again by Margot Robbie. Off screen, Joker breaks up with her again. Completely off screen. I don't know why. They don't give an explanation as to why they broke up, or as to why he left her in the dust.
Oh, I can give you the reason. It's because they don't want Jared Leto to play Joker anymore.
Most likely, yeah. But she just becomes Deadpool now because she's talking to the fourth wall. And in a very clumped up first act, we get introduced to all of our main characters. There's little girl, Cassandra, who is a soon-to-be Batgirl eventually. I don't know if they're going to do
Cassandra
that.
Cain?
Yeah, Cassandra Cain. Played it. I don't remember her name, but she is the niece of Dante Basco. She plays. She plays Cassandra Cain.
Cassandra Cain's in that movie?
No, she's not an assassin that you might be thinking of. She's a pickpocket with, I think, like an arm cast.
Well, yeah, I'm not thinking.
Who like eats a diamond later and then has to poop it out later. Yeah, that's about what they do with her. And then there's also Black Canary, who, I mean, she does look good, and I'm just telling you now, she doesn't do a sonic scream until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Every other time, she's just like kicking people. It's like, cool. And you have Huntress, who you don't really know at all until the third act when they're all together. And then
I can't believe Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the Huntress, by the way.
Yeah, that's...
Ramona Flowers is Helena Bertinelli.
Yeah, and they do Huntress pretty well in a comedic sense, because her Huntress comes off as pretty socially awkward, because she was the daughter of a dead mob boss who was trained by assassin people. So she's not the best around people. So that was funny. And I also got Renee Montoya, who is a cop. That's her thing. And they're fighting the man, the beautiful man himself, Ewan McGregor, playing Roman Sionis, a.k.a. Black Mask. He's cool. He certainly wasn't enjoyable, but then there were a few scenes where the script forces him to be an a-hole to show that he's a mean person, he's skinning faces and doing mean things to women.
Just women?
Yeah, just women. Well, yeah, because he's got a boyfriend, but they don't say that at all. Victor Zsasz, he's a sidekick. He's not too crazy. You never see him knife himself to cut up a person. He's just, he's there. just say, hey, we got Victor Zsasz here. Come over here, all you comic nerds. Women power. It was passable. They didn't. The Birds of Prey. It was the Harley Quinn movie for like the first 2 acts. And finally they got together. Even then, it was still kind of the Harley Quinn movie. But they're like, now I'm going to be the clown princess of Gotham. I don't know what she says.
I don't know, man. I don't think the Birds of Prey should have ever had Harley Quinn attached.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't fit. It's just like, it's her movie. That's all you can really say. It's passable. It happened. And now we are here in the very confusing set of DCEU. Coming up, whenever, is Wonder Woman 1984, which is the sequel. It's going to have Kristen Wiig play the Cheetah, and Pedro Pascal playing Maxwell Lord, as Wonder Woman is traveling around 1984, and Chris Pine is back for whatever reason.
Somehow.
Yeah. I like to think that maybe it's Jean just trying to help her settle into a more super world. But I don't know. That's because
bringing the Green Martian or Martian Manhunter into this fold would be amazing.
Yeah, they already said the Martian Manhunter was the army guy from Man of Steel.
What?
You don't know about this?
No.
Oh, well, Zack Snyder himself released like hyping up for the Snyder Cut to eventually be announced for release. You put up like storyboards like, yeah, and in the Snyder Cut, the Black Army guy was going to be revealed to be Jean. And then he would have fit in later in a sequel or something. But
yes.
Who knows? James Gunn eventually is coming out with the Suicide Squad, because if you can't badly copy the Guardians, you might as well take the guy that did Guardians to do your thing that was already copying off Guardians.
Yep.
So that'll certainly happen, whatever that means. The real big winner, The Batman. Coming out 2021, Matt Reeves directing. Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Terrific choice. You got to see The Good Time. You got to see The Lighthouse before you give me any of that Twilight nonsense. All right? See those 2 movies and then look at that and be like, yeah, that is a good Batman. And you got like Colin Farrell's going to come in as like Penguin, and this other chick's coming in as Catwoman. You got Riddler and like Mad Hatter and Firefly somehow, which is like great. I want to see these C-list villains come in out of nowhere, because that'd be awesome.
Dude, where's Calendar Man at?
Yeah, exactly. And then they might be saving that for the sequel or threequel if they want to do like a long Halloween kind of vibe.
I was thinking they should do like Long Halloween or even like a Hush.
That might be what they're trying to do here. Like, not an exact takeaway, but they're certainly going to have aspects from the Long Halloween and Hush.
Also, what I want from this is part of the EU. I don't want any explanation.
Nope.
I don't need an explanation for these characters anymore. Everyone knows the Penguin exists, Catwoman exists. We don't need an origin story, right? So that's still what I want. I still think we should have Ben Affleck, but
well, Robert Pattinson's a great choice, and it's a more detective-themed Batman, which is the exact Batman that somehow nobody else has been using. Like they used it a bit in Tim Burton's Batman, but they never really used the world's best detective arc or angle on Batman, which is really.
Although I did like that moment where like Affleck's Batfleck, he could like, or Bruce Wayne, when he put the phone down and he like copied the other guy's phone into his phone. I was like, ooh, that's some Lucius Fox level technology right there.
That was cool, but I mean, that was like one thing.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten a whole film about it, which would be good.
Yeah, and I think this movie set earlier I heard something like the 90s, but I don't know if that's true. But like limiting the just like hacking technology that Bruce Wayne could do to then make his detective work more engaging. Like that's cool. You show him off as like a genius even before technology could literally do everything. That's cool. After that, Black Adam at some point, The Flash at some point.
Yeah, The Flash should have happened already, guys.
Yeah, it should happen long ago.
It should have happened before Justice League, really.
And then Shazam 2 and Aquaman 2, whenever that's going to come out. And real quick, we have...
Wait, if all of these are right, then that means we're going to get 3 films in 2021 and 3 films in 2022. And, like, honestly, damn.
All right, yeah. We're getting, hypothetically, a bunch from DC and a bunch from Marvel. So we got a lot going on those 2 years. And also, we have all of these projects that we'll just list off real quick that are either... Because I know that one is definitely going to HBO Max as like a series.
Mm-hmm.
But these other projects in development include that were once announced as like, yeah, this is going to be a movie, and just like delayed forever. So we got the Amazonians, Batgirl, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Cyborg, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Gotham City Sirens, Green Lantern Corps, Harley Quinn versus the Joker, Joker film, Justice League sequel, Justice League Dark, Lobo, Man of Steel sequel, New Gods, Nightwing, Plastic Man, Supergirl, The Trench, and Wonder Woman 1984 sequel. Whenever those come out, or whenever they're officially labeled as just flat out canceled, this is
Listen, I wrote Act 1 to a Booster Gold film, so... Also, I think Gotham City Sirens honestly just turned into Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, Booster Gold film's pretty easy to do. But yeah, that is the DCEU that we are all working with right now. Will they keep going with the angle they've been going at? Most likely. Will they be doing any team-up stuff later on? I don't know.
Oh, where would you put... so I guess the biggest difference between your ranking and my ranking of the DCEU is just Wonder Woman and Shazam.
Yeah, I'd probably...
But does it just still go Aquaman, Justice League, BVS, Man of Steel, Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I think Shazam's at the top, followed by Wonder Woman. Somewhere a bit lower, like right at the middle there, would be probably Aquaman. Slightly below that would be Man of Steel. You go a ways. Birds of Prey is right there. Go a little ways. Probably Batman v Superman is like slightly above or slightly below Birds of Prey. You just kind of go down, and you go down, right about here. I think it would be Suicide Squad.
I just like to point out, everyone should have looked at Owen in the mirror. Your back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so around Man of Steel and BBS, which I guess we have switched, is Birds of Prey.
Yeah, so if you want to watch it, go right ahead. I'm not going to force you to. But
I have to see Cassie Kane. I can't believe they did that. I keep feeling that they're screwing up the DCEU.
But here's the thing. You can watch a bunch of other good DC stuff that's out there right for the picking.
Hey, you know what? We need Stephanie Brown. Stephanie Brown and Barbara Gordon will save it.
Exactly.
Dude, if we had a Batgirls film, eventually, after all the Batgirls have been revealed, that would be awesome. Or think of a Batman Incorporated movie. Dude, who needs a DCEU? We just need a Batman EU.
Yeah, or at least a very big Batman show.
You know what, Owen? I have an idea for another podcast.
Oh boy, what's going on?
It's going to be the Batman EU. We're going to do it.
A Batman EU. All right. You want that to be the next one?
Yeah. So all right, guys. So next week, Owen and I are going to create a clean slate. Clean slate.
What's the limitation?
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
So it's a clean slate. You have to have your you can introduce them all in one film if you really want to, if that's what you want, if that's your prerogative. But you get at max, let's say at max 8 films.
Okay.
And 8 films for 12 years. So space it out however you want. You have 8 films over 12 years. And you have to start somewhere, but pretend this is separate. Like this is its own universe.
Yeah.
And if you want to include, you can have like comic book tie-ins or a novel or whatever you want. You can have as many of those as you want, because I doubt we're going to do any, if at all. So if you just do a couple, that's fine. But yeah, 12 years, 8 films, all about Batman. And if you want them to all be solo Batman films, go right ahead. But the point is to kind of introduce the Batman family into the mainstream with like everything you possibly can. You know, like I like Damian on the big screen finally. Even Jason Todd on the big screen finally.
Yeah, I need my Tim Drake on the big screen finally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something I need in my life.
Yeah, so what we want is I want a plot synopsis of each film.
Doki.
And the villains, because the villains are a central part of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I want all the villains featured. Is this going to be a long one? Like a long episode?
Yeah.
Do you want to split it up into 2 parts or just do one whole big one?
Let's see how far we get. And if we get up to like 4 of our movies each, then we just like, all right, call it quits, because it's at the 5-hour mark. We'll save this for part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, let's totally do that.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching MoonTown Offline. We love to have you here. And yeah, like and subscribe, please.
Quick announcement.
Yep.
Owen, what's back? Or should I say, what's coming back?
Ooh. Sandals with socks.
No, silly. It's regular MoonTown episodes.
What?
Of Kingdom Hearts.
More Kingdom Hearts episodes coming out
4 months later.
Starting August 10th, going back on the schedule of every 3 days, a new Kingdom Hearts episode. What?
That's right. Me and you, I don't know if you remember, but we hung out and we recorded.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of stuff done. A lot of very entertaining and intuitive stuff done.
Something to look forward to, everyone. We have a new bit at the end of every episode.
Let them watch it. If you tell them everything about the episode, then they're not going to watch it, because they'll know everything.
But they have to know the end of the episode. No, guys, AJ's. Listen, those are dedicated to you.
The AJs don't need to know anything about anything. They can watch it themselves.
They are going to watch. I'm not going to spoil it for them.
Yeah. So this Monday, August 10th, 2020, at some point in the day, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix for the PlayStation 3, Part 21, is going to be coming out on MoonTown. So better hold your horses, hold on to those hats, hold your own to your cheeks, because it's gonna get back to the old wild ride.
I just want to say, I think we're about halfway there.
I think so, yeah.
Like halfway done with the game.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for sticking around. We will see you next time. Stay pretty, everybody. Stay pretty.
God bless you. Have fun.